So today, I want to talk a little bit about practice. Perform or exercise regularly or repeatedly in order to improve or maintain one's proficiency. That is the definition of practice. Man, this shit is really good. Highly recommend. Practice is insanely crucial and important to everything in life, basically. If you want to get better at something, you have to push at it and work out all of the flaws and kinks that you have in whatever it is you're trying to get better at. The reality of the situation is the saying, practice makes perfect, is just not necessarily true. So I've always been more of the mindset of perfect practice makes perfect. So when I woke up yesterday, I really figured, well, if perfect practice makes perfect, then I just bought this new Aputure LS60D light. So here's my not so technical review of the Aputure LightStorm 60D. Yeah. Now, I just want to kind of start and say, shout out to Danny Verts. I just found out who this man was, a week ago or something. Watched a good amount of his videos. Seems like an incredible filmmaker. The reason why I bring that up is because he brought up in one of his videos something that I thought was really, really interesting, and that was this idea of how to, have cinematic lighting. And he was talking about the importance of motivated lighting and backlighting. And that was something that I never really thought of before. Motivated lighting I for sure have never heard of, and backlighting I'd heard of, but I always kind of just thought that was to silhouette somebody, to make their face anonymous or whatever, and not to get the look that I was going for. But I really trust the guy's cinematography, and the way that his stuff looks really, really good. And so I was like, well, why not? And so I figured I would go and give it a try for myself. And here are some of those examples of that. So you have myself here, just kind of sitting, chilling, reading, and I kind of took the combination of both the motivated light wave and then also the backlight wave. I think it kind of gets the job done really well. I like the shadows on my face. And also, one thing that I kind of forgot was that I actually, with the Light Dome SE, I put the honeycomb grid on there. Again, not a lighting expert, not entirely sure what that does, but because they're black bars, I feel like it kind of, not dilutes the light, but it, kind of, in essence, kind of dilutes the light, and kind of darkens it a little bit. Here I am, in kind of the same setup, but without the honeycomb filter. And again, I don't really remember what percentages I was using, but I know that I pretty much was not even touching 100% on spotlight. And so there was still more room to make the light even brighter and pop more, but these are kind of the looks that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the bits of contrast of bright and shadow. I think that it just looks really good. So honestly, these shots right here are some of, I would argue, my best lit shots I think that I've ever done. I've done some shots that look good, but for sure I would say this is probably the best looking shot I think I've ever made. Now, obviously, the shot could be even better, but for just starting out and just getting in just a little bit of practice with my new equipment, 10 out of 10. This shit, it looks really, really good in my opinion. And it's only going to get better, which is very, very fun and very, very exciting for me. But yeah, here's me a little bit into my closet. I have this nice wooden backdrop here. Most of these tests are really with the light on at 50% power, with the light on at 25% power, with it on 50% power on flood, or just where it's not even close to being at its brightest. And these shots here in the closet, they're all in the closet with no other lights on, and the shots are looking as nice as they are and as bright as they are, and I was having so much fun with these. Yeah, just overall though, it was really fun to just kind of mess around with all the little aspects of this guy. Using the barn doors, I'm not even joking. I'm so excited to mess around with my filmmaking career and like get better at different aspects of filmmaking. And I really didn't want to just be like another like YouTube filmmaker and like only use the light dome and just kind of soften out my lights and everything like that. Like I wanted to actually use this to make creative stuff. I love making dance videos. I love making music videos, and I really want to look into making commercials. I really want to look into making just anything like an athletic film, like stuff like that. And so like there's not just a one thing that I'm really interested in, and so seeing that this came with barn doors, I was like, oh, that'd be really interesting to use the barn doors and cut the light in such a way that I can make it like this interesting like spotlight, and like you see like I literally fade out into like the abyss, and then all of a sudden like I'm there, insanely well lit and focused, like all the whole deal. And so I just think it's super interesting and super important that I kind of get to mess around with all this stuff and really get to push myself to become a better filmmaker all around, and not just set up LED panel lights, which is what I thought I was going to be doing 2 years ago or whatever. I thought it was just going to be all about LED panel lights, and the reality is like it's not. Now I do have an LED panel light lighting me right now, but it's not like the end all be all. Cob lights, I'm learning, are a lot better, and having the opportunity to be able to use it with the barn doors and be able to use the spotlight, be able to use the flood, be able to use the softbox, like they all have different looks. And this is without me even using the reflector, mind you. I did not actually try out to use the reflector quite yet, but I am excited to use the reflector. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to mess around with. Maybe I'll try to make a little short skit or a little short film or something in the next couple of weeks with that going on. But moving forward, I am just very, very excited to really get to mess around with this thing and see what it can do. I don't know why there's so little reviews about this or so little eyes around this guy, but 10 out of 10, highly would recommend if you are looking for a light. I think that this is kind of just a no-brainer. But yeah, I'm kind of growing day and day and day, just trying to get better each and every day that passes. Trying to find new techniques and new styles, and trying to master the ones that I already kind of know about, just so that I can get to the end of my 10,000 hours and really feel like I've achieved something or I've mastered something along the way. That is a not so technical or professional review of the Aputure LS60D. Thank you. Oh, and also just one more thing. Just be sure to let your people know that you love them. Have a wonderful day.